Well, hello, and welcome to another episode of From Behind My Chair. For those of you who are my returning subscribers, I heart you guys so much. Thank you guys for coming back every week to hear my stories. I appreciate you guys. You guys are my peeps. And for those of you who are new to my channel, welcome, welcome. I don't know how you got here, but you're here now. Stick around and you'll get to hear my stories. By the way, my name is Syndie. I'm a hairstylist with over 40 years of experience, and I tell stories from my over 40 years. Well, actually, I want to say 30 because I let my stories marinate for like a decade before I tell them, which is like this story. So, I this story happened about 10 years ago. I no longer do this client's hair. Okay, this is a really gross story. So I struggle with delivering it without being gross and offensive. This client was probably in her, I'd say like maybe early 30s, and she wore leggings every time I saw her. Every time I've ever done her hair, she had leggings on. That's very important to the story, okay? So, oh, and not only did she always wear leggings, she always brought with her an odor, the offensive kind. I didn't say a scent, I said an odor. You know what I mean? Like the kind of just knock you in the face sometimes. That kind. And I want to also add, listen, most of my clients are color clients. And regardless, even if they weren't, listen, I only deal with this quadrant here. I deal with the top of the head to the bottom of the chin because I do beard trims also. I color beards as well. But I don't deal with anything below the chin at all. Okay. It's not my jurisdiction. That's not for me. Um, so here I go. This client comes in, I'm coloring her hair, and I foil up her hair. And keep in mind, whenever I do this client's hair, I have my sanitation bottle near because whenever she gets up out of my chair, not only is it foul, sometimes super offensive, and sometimes mildly offensive, but it doesn't matter. The point is offensive. Okay. She also leaves the chair wet, like sweaty wet, which that happens sometimes. Listen to sometimes in the summer, a really super hot day, girls come in with like shorts or even leggings or whatever, and they'll be a little bit sweaty. That's not an issue. That happens. I sanitize the chair. I wipe down. I clean the chair with antibacterial spray. It's not an issue. Not an issue. But this particular client, because she brought her odor along with her, it's becoming an issue. So I had talked to my peers about it, and I had decided, listen, I don't really have a really great bond with this client. I had been doing her hair for maybe close to a year, and we hadn't really established a true like trust type of relationship. She wasn't very chatty. I mean, she did trust me to do her hair, but I mean, I'm not her gynecologist, and it's not. I didn't feel like it was for me to say something about the odor that she brought with her. I would just clean up after her wherever I sat her. As soon as she got up, I cleaned up after her. I'd spray it down, wipe it down, let it dry out, whatever. So this particular time, I do her hair. I get her hair all foiled up. We're touching up the blonde, and I have her get up and I take her over to the color area to process because my next client is waiting to get his hair done. So my client is he's a lawyer and I do his color in about an hour. He does like a lunchtime color, lunchtime touch up is what he does. So his time with me is probably a little less than an hour. I sit her down in the color area, gonna come back, and usually at this point, I sanitize the station, sanitize the chair, all my workspace. By the time I get back there, I notice that my client's already he's in the chair. He's waiting. He's already he went to the change room, he changed his clothes, he's got the cape on, he's sitting in my chair. Okay, so I'm like ready, set, go. Go get the color, start applying. I'm almost done applying his color. Then he says to me, "Do you smell that?" I had to plead the fifth. Yeah, I don't think I do. I no. And he tells me, yeah, you don't smell that. And quite honestly, I did not. When he said that, I did not smell it. I did not because she's back there, and he clearly sat in something. I didn't say anything because I didn't think it was okay to say, yeah, my last client smells like fish all the time and it sweats out of her vagina and you're probably sitting on her wet spot. I didn't say that. And you know what? That might be my bad. Actually, you'll let me know in the comments. Is that my bad? I should have probably said something, but I didn't. He was already sitting in it, and it was a while before I realized, like, oh crap, I didn't clean my station. It's like, it was just, it happened so fast. And I felt really terrible about it, but I thought, well, by now it probably just, that wet spot is no more because he's sitting in it. Finish his hair, he gets dressed, he goes back to work. Then she comes back, I finish her up, I'm like wiping around, whatever. And I, at the end of my day, I text my client that was sitting in my chair and I said, listen, I think you may have sat on something. He goes, yeah, I did. He goes, it was in your salon. He goes, I dropped off that suit at the cleaners. He had to leave work and he dropped off the suit at the cleaners and I had offered to pay for the dry cleaning. I said, I insisted that I pay for the dry cleaning. He said, no, 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 don't worry about it. That suit had to be cleaned anyway. But, I think I sat on something. I don't know what it was. What do you think it was? I told him, I don't know. Maybe something I left behind. He goes, well, it smelled like fish. Like, I, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry that that happened to you. Full on knowing what happened, but I'm not going to throw her under the bus. I mean, she's in my chair still, and she's, if she's my people, I do her. She's my client. I'm not gonna say, well, she's got a problem with her vagina and she's smelling the place up. I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna have to figure this one out. So anyway, that happened. So fast forward, very last time that I saw her. So my station at that time when I worked in that salon, I was maybe the fourth station from the front desk. So when you come in, you check into the front desk. You check in, and the receptionist lets you know that your next client is here. So she, I go to the front desk to retrieve my client, and as I'm walking her back over to my station, and I'm passing other stations, a lady that was in one of those stations. She was not getting her hair worked on. I think she was just sitting there alone. I don't know if her stylist was going to mix up her color or what. She's sitting there. She goes, "Whoa!" She goes, "What is that smell? What is that smell?" And then she starts talking to the client that's in the neighboring chair to the left of her, and then the client to the right of her starts getting into this conversation. So all three of these women are having this real loud conversation about a foul odor that they just got sucker punched with. I know what they're talking about. I hope that they don't think that's me because I walked my client back. So the conversation got really, really loud with these three women that are at the front of the shop. And you could clearly overhear the conversation where we were at. And I think it made my client feel a little uncomfortable. I look over and the women were looking in our area. They had their chairs like turned around facing in our direction, and I'm like, oh no, no, this is really getting uncomfortable. I didn't say a word, but I'm like stressing out. I'm thinking like, I hope they don't think that's me. I'm like, it's just so her and I never had a conversation about that, but that was the last time that I saw her. So I don't know if I should have said something. I mean, would you think that I should have? I don't know. If I had to do it all over again, I don't think I would say something because it's not for me to that I'm not her doctor, and plus she wasn't getting a service done that required that I be down there. Everything that I did was like this is all like this is like I'm here. So that story still haunts me. just, I can't forget it. But guys, that's my story for the week. I told you it was gross. So gross. Leave me comments. Was it my bad? Should I have said something? Would you want me to do that for you? Yeah, but you're my friend. I'd probably tell you because you're my friend. Yes, I'd tell you. But her and I were not so, well, come back next week. Like and subscribe. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Mwah, have a fabulous week. Bye.